Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Fantasy Football Fever. Wherever, whenever, and however you're watching, thanks for making this part of your week. It is Tuesday night, September 9th, 2025. Hope everybody enjoyed week one as much as I did. I mean, I'm telling you, there was some action going on. And I'm telling you, if the rest of the season is like this, we are in for quite a ride. My name is Timothy McClellan. How y'all doing out there? Doing okay? I know one person who not quite doing okay. He came off to a rough start this week in fantasy. Of course, that's my partner over here, the host of the Hooked on Sports podcast, Mr. John Flynn.
How you doing, Tim? How you doing today?
Doing all right, buddy. As I said, what a great week the first week was.
I mean, there was some superb ball games. I mean, we're still raving about that instant classic between the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. I honestly could not believe the Bills won that game.
I kind of had a feeling the Bills would pull it out. But after all, when you've got probably the two best quarterbacks in the entire AFC clashing together, oh my gosh, it is showtime, go time, I tell you.
So even in my even Lamar Jackson couldn't save me from defeat. Yeah, because he gave me 29 points on Sunday night, and was still not, and it was still Tim not enough to beat Dino, and I'm actually kind of pissed about it. So without any further ado, though, let's get into how I lost to Dino, and so I lost 125.98 to 116.66. As we mentioned, Lamar Jackson got 29.36 points um there. But I got 14 points out of Kyle Williams. I only got 5 points from Kenneth Walker, 5 points from Nico Collins, 4.7 points from Terry McLaurin, 6.7 points out of David Njoku. So that was not fun, and I had Garrett Wilson and Christian McCaffrey on my bench, which was bad enough, because I did not think Garrett Wilson was going to have a great game against the Steelers on Sunday, but that too was a terrific ball game as well, between the Steelers and the Jets. So
Right.
yeah. And then Tyler Warren, I left him on my bench, so that was some not great, um, as well. But um,
Right.
yeah, but Dino got 24 points from Jalen Hurts. He got 17 out of Chuba Hubbard, and rather pedestrian the rest of the way, but it was enough to knock me out in week one. Now, Tim, your matchup, you took care of business against David.
Yes, I sure did. I think David still needs maybe a lesson or two in fantasy football 101, I guess.
It's, oh,
He's
it was just bad luck for him, because he only got one catch from AJ Brown, and he only got 4 points from Jamar Chase. It's just bad luck, and
that was terrible.
yeah. And Joe Burrow only the Bengals only put up 141 yards of offense, and they barely beat the Browns.
Barely beat the Browns. Okay. Well, Dak Prescott did very well for me. He got me about got
You
8.82, which well, wasn't too good because of that very great defense for the Eagles there. My best scorer was Zay Flowers, got me 28.1. Um, who else? Ricky Pearsall. He went over his projection and got me 15.8. 28.1 from Zay Flowers. CD Lamb got me 18 even.
I mean,
Uh,
it should have been a hell of a lot more than that.
oh yeah, because of those two drop passes late in the game.
I mean, the one that bothered me was the one that bothered me was the one on fourth down after the 2 minute warning.
Right. And what really bothered me was when the referees didn't call pass interference when Jack threw that late pass to Jake Ferguson. I mean,
So, yeah,
I thought it was pass interference, but it wasn't called.
yeah, but
So looking at my bench guys, oh should I think I should have started Keon Coleman, but I didn't think he was going to
I,
do that well against that Ravens
uh,
defense.
I mean, I told you not to sleep on him this year. I mean, he was one of my one of my sleepers this year. Um, and then Charbonnet had Charbonnet's day was saved by a touchdown, and then Cam Scadbo only was on the field for 7 snaps, which made zero sense to me. As did everything else for the Giants' game plan. But that was rough there. But let's do the matchup between Lucas and Natalie, the matchup of the last two champions. But it was Lucas that came out on top. So thanks to consistent performances all the way around. Jada Daniels, James Cook, Puka Nakua each gave him 20+ points. Yeah, and Natalie had the unfortunate circumstance of having Xavier Worthy get knocked out before before the Chiefs able to complete a pass. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he left Emeka Ibuka on his bench. He left JJ McCarthy on his bench. Well, he actually made the right decision because Baker Mayfield also gave him 22.5 points. Yeah, Khalil Shakir, 12 points, as well. So
Yeah, good amount of points there on the bench here, but as I always say, Nakua Matata.
yeah, yeah. I feel. I mean, so I was really debating with the wide receiver list between Puka Nakua, Nico Collins, and Justin Jefferson.
Right.
So behind Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb. So speaking of Justin Jefferson, he picked up 15 points for Casey, but it was not enough as he lost by a lot to Andrew Sinclair. And I mean, good God, and Andrew's team is loaded this year. He's got
Look at that.
he's got Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, James Conner. That Bo Nix, and despite not having the Broncos defense, I mean that was such an easy matchup for the Broncos. 20 points because of because if we actually look more into the Broncos defense, um, let's see. Yeah, the Broncos had 6 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries. They allowed just 133 yards of offense in the victory. So, whereas the Ravens gave up 497 yards of offense to
Wow.
to, to the Buffalo Bills. Um, yeah. So, yeah. So that was the story right there, and then Adam won scored the most points in our league, thanks to Josh Allen, 38 points last night on Sunday night,
Yes, yes.
and that was enough to win fantasy matchups all across the country, and Josh Allen delivered of a tough luck loss for Alex Putnam, who scored the third most points in our league.
Uh,
Bijan Robinson, Brock Bowers had good days in the office. I was very happy that my Bijan Robinson takes from the offseason panned out. despite the Falcons' loss.
Right.
I said, but then Adam also got a big day out of Debo Samuel, and Travis Kelsey exceeded his projected totals. Um, yeah, that was basically the main story right there. So why don't we go over some quickly all the other matchups and how and the other stat lines from the games. So the Eagles beat Dallas 24-20. Jalen Hurts. It was a good first half for the Eagles offense, but then they started in the second half.
Yeah, it was all right. Prescott had an okay day, 21 of 34 for 188 yards. Uh, yeah, that Eagles defense did hold the running game in check. I mean, you had Williams at 54 yards, Miles Sanders at 53. Turpin had 9, and Prescott only had 3 there.
I
Uh,
mean, a lot of that had to do with Jalen Carter not being there for the vast for the whole game.
oh yeah, because of what happened before the very first snap of the game.
But I'll tell you, if Jalen Carter was in that game, those rushing numbers would have been a lot lower.
Most likely, of course, CD Lamb, another 100-yard game to his credit.
Yeah. So,
And,
I mean, which I feel pretty good about my CD Lamb fantasy takes because now he's got a great matchup against the artist formerly known as the Giants coming up on Sunday. And then AJ Brown only had one target. Devontae Smith only had 3 targets. Jahan Dotson had that 51-yard catch and run in the first half. So um yeah,
uh,
that was a good stuff. And then other games, the Chargers and the Chiefs. The Chargers won 27-21. Amari Hampton in his first action had 48 yards rushing on 15 carries, 15 out of the 25 carries. So I think it's clear now. Amari Hampton is gonna be the bellwether back for the Chargers. Because now you can stick the Najee Harris ticks and sticking where the sun don't shine. I mean,
mhm.
Patrick Mahomes actually had a really good statistical day. We haven't seen that said it often. Of the 3-time Super Bowl winning quarterback the last couple of years, but but then so with Xavier Worthy out, with Rasheed Rice out, it was Hollywood Brown. So that was at the target hog. 16 targets for Hollywood Brown. So Hollywood and think if we look in let me look in terms of in terms of of whether he's a good how likely you'll be able to pick him up on waivers this week. Give me just a second on that.
Yeah.
Playing.
This guy, while he looks up something, y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you the
It's
subject.
it's yeah. Yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah.
Is so Hollywood Brown. He is currently owned in 50.1% of leagues in ESPN. So there's a 50-50 shot. Yeah, he's available for potential waiver claims. So I think so I think you need to make sure
Yeah.
you pick him up there. Juju Smith-Schuster caught all 5 of his targets for 55 yards. So that could be just something to monitor. Travis Kelsey caught a touchdown just in his in the first game of his engagement era.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. And then as for the Chargers, Quentin Johnson's also going to be a popular waiver wire pickup. 5 catches for 79 yards and 2 tutties. Where did that come? Where was that all last year? And they
Not sure.
Yeah, and then Keenan Allen had the most targets with 10, caught 7 of them for 68 yards and a tutty as well. And Justin Herbert was fantastic on Friday night.
Amazing. So sad that I left him on my bench in my Yahoo league.
Yeah, 318
Oh,
yards, 318 yards and 3 touchdowns for for him. And the Commanders Giants. I mean, it was just pretty much a no contest there. Jaden Daniels, he was superb. Had 233 passing yards and 68 rushing yards. Ja'Cory Bill Krosky Merritt, 10 runs for 82 yards and a touchdown in his NFL debut. So yes, yeah, there was a reason why his fantasy stock rose so much after the Brian Robinson Jr. trade. Um,
oh yeah. That's a young
uh,
guy you want to think about, y'all.
yeah, but now it's gonna be maybe too late to pick him up on the waiver wires at this point. Debo
Oh,
Samuel led the Commanders with 10 targets and seven catches for 77 yards.
yep.
In that one. The Cardinals beat the Saints 20 to 13. Marvin Harrison Jr. Was their best fantasy performer. 5 catches, 71 yards and a touchdown on just 6 targets. Trey McBride continues
Wow. I mean,
to be the number one target for this Cardinals offense. 9 targets, 6 catches on the afternoon.
yeah.
And Trey Benson will let all the rushers eight carries for 69 yards there, and then as for the Saints, Joel had a big day, 8 catches for 76 yards, it's him for on the day. So that Alvin Kamara.
A woeful 45 rushing yards for Kamara.
Is that not, but the thing is, Kamara makes it up with the touchdown and a couple of receptions. That I say, yeah, but now the question is are we panicking about Kamara's role as a pass catcher now? Because Olave got 13 targets, Johnson got 11 targets, so so you're still trying to test the waters for Kamara. The Colts smashed the Dolphins 33 to 8. Daniel Jones 22 of 29, 272 yards and a tutty. Um, and 2 rushing touchdowns as well. So he was superb. Michael Pittman Jr. 6 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill 4 catches for 40 yards. Devon Achane had 75 all-purpose yards, 3 catches and a touchdown. So he was on the board often, and the only touchdown that the Dolphins had. When do you think Greer and McDaniel get fired?
I'll say within the next month, within the
Yeah,
next 4 weeks.
yeah, I don't think that they get fired. I don't think they last to the clock change in November. The Raiders went into New England and beat the Patriots 20 to 13, and to me a couple of stories there. One is Geno Smith threw for 362 yards and
Yeah.
a touchdown. Brock
Ooh.
Bowers 103 yards receiving. Jacoby Myers 10 targets, 8 catches for 97 yards. Yeah, so I don't think the Raiders are trading Jacoby Myers anymore. Um,
Hmm. I'm,
yeah,
I really had my doubts about Myers, but I think that could change.
yeah, and yeah. I mean, I think if let me go back to the graphics that I made for the for the sleepers. Um,
Yeah.
I know. Did one of us say
Did one of us even mention Myers?
no, I don't think any of us mentioned Myers in any of our games, but whatever. Drake May 287 yards, a touchdown, and 11 rushing yards. Travion Henderson, despite had rave reviews during the preseason. He said he had just 51 all-purpose yards, 6 receptions. Keyshawn Booth and Hunter Henry each led the way with 8 targets. Yeah, but it was a game where the Patriots were trailing most of the were trailing that they didn't want to run the ball as much, which I was kind
Right.
of curious about, but they threw the but Drake May threw the ball 46 times um in the game. Um it's, that now how about this game between the Steelers and the Jets?
Oh my
34-32.
goodness. I watched every
Yeah,
single minute of that one. It was great. It was
yeah.
fabulous.
It was back and forth. I mean, so much for this being my garbage game of the week. It was terrific. Aaron Rodgers 4 touchdowns, 244
Oh
passing
my
yards.
gosh. He looked just like that old bad man that he used to be.
Yeah, and now in his last 10 games since week 8 of last year, Aaron Rodgers has 22 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
I think he's still got something left in the tank.
Yeah, which is why I was actually which is why I was fighting the Jets fans about Rodgers being the least of the concerns. You had the bad coach. You had no coaching on that defense. You had the line stunk. The owner's kids would talk smack about their own team.
Right.
It was a disaster last year, and I'm happy Rodgers got his revenge on the Jets. But Justin Fields played well. Garrett Wilson, 7 catches, 95 yards, and a tutty in the in the victory. So
I don't know if there's any I don't know
um
if there's I don't know if there's such thing as an impressive loss, but I think the Jets had an impressive loss. I mean,
I mean
32 points?
I said I the Jets were one of the teams I said that were going to be better than people anticipate because that there's actually toughness and physicality with this team that was not even present last year for most of last year. So
Yeah.
um
I think next game, the Cat Bowl.
uh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Panthers and
Jacksonville and
Jaguars.
Carolina. I mean, what the hell was that with me picking the Panthers? Yeah, the Jacksonville smashed them 26-10. And Travis Etienne, 143 rushing yards, including him breaking one for 71 yards. So the Jaguars on the day ran for 200 yards on the afternoon, and
Ooh, doggy.
Travis Etienne's performance that allowed the Jaguars to trade Tank Bigsby to the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday in exchange for a 5th and 6th round pick.
Right.
On um yeah, but Ted McMillan 9 targets, 5 catches, 68 yards. So it's pretty clear
Nice
that
start.
Ted McMillan. Yeah, it's pretty clear that he's going to be the #1 receiver for the Panthers this year. I mean, if there wasn't any, if there was any doubt on that, Brenton Strange led the way with 59 receiving yards. He was another one of my sleepers.
Oh, yeah.
Travis Hunter had the most targets and receptions with 6 catches on 8 targets. On the afternoon, in a game that was delayed in about an hour and a half, due to a lightning delay. Um, let's see. We also need to discuss the Bengals barely beating the Browns. Oh
Barely.
man.
The Browns. What a game.
I kept saying all off for the last 6 weeks. It was I thought the Bengals would beat the Browns, but it was not a guarantee. I would not have touched this game on my survivor if I had a survivor pool.
Yeah,
And
had a feeling that the Bengals was just not going to be that strong enough for those Browns because the Bengals have been kind of shaky on the defense, but they just held on all the way to the end. I commend them for that.
Yeah, and I still don't know who. And now we don't know who the Browns' number one receiver is because four different pass catchers had 8 targets, including running back Dylan Sampson, so who had 8 catches for 64 yards to go along with his 29 rushing yards. Yeah, but Cedric Tillman caught a touchdown, and Cedric Tillman was another one that I made sure to include. I made sure to mention on my receivers list when we did it back in the summer.
Right.
Um, yeah, and then yeah, and then all of that as well. The Broncos beat the Titans by a score of 20-12. Because it wasn't pretty early on for the Broncos offense, but they were able to get it done. Cam Ward, kind of what I expected. 12 of
Yeah.
28, 112 yards. Um, yeah, it's just the unfortunate luck of the Broncos being 8.5 point favorites instead of seven
Oh
and a
yeah.
half point favorites, which really pissed me off because I thought that was the best bet of the week there. But Bo Nix did not have a great day either. 25 of 40, 176 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. Cortland Sutton, 6 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown. RJ Harvey, 70 rushing yards. J.K. Dobbins, 16 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown in the victory for the Denver Broncos. So the 49ers went into Seattle and beat the Seahawks 17-13. And so that Jake Tongs caught the game-winning touchdown in the last minute of the game as the 49ers start the season with a victory over Seattle. Let me pull up some of the
Yeah.
numbers here.
Yeah, that 49ers team just so injury riddled, but yet they still come out on top.
Yeah, I mean that was a terrific win on the road by the 49ers. I think that was probably the most underrated result of the entire week. So because all the talk about the Colts, Dolphins, the Bills, and all of that,
Right.
but yeah. Oh, and look. Oh, hey, Ricky Pearsall. Hi.
Hey, Ricky Pearsall, what's up, bro? With 7 targets, 4 receptions, 108 yards. Well done indeed.
Amazing. Uh, um, um, amazing. With with one of my with one of my sleeper picks, Ricky
Yeah.
Pearsall. For some reason, people thought he was gonna be the 40th best receiver in football this season. I mean, come on
Come
now.
on, man. And check out Jackson Smith Najigma. He had 13 targets, 9 receptions, 124 yards. Not bad for him either.
Yeah, he's like the only legit receiver Seattle has, and which is why it was important for them to emphasize Geno Smith over Sam Darnold. I mean, Sam Darnold, he did not have a great game for his first game away from Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah. Cooper Cup he usually has some injury issues here and there. Only got 15 yards from 2 receptions.
Yeah, I don't think I drafted Cooper Cup in any of my mock drafts this year. I don't think so.
I think it
I,
might have been a
and
good idea not to.
Yeah, that was what I was trending towards the entire way. The Lions and the Packers just smoked the Lions 27-13. I mean, I would say, I mean, yeah, Ravens, Bills included. I thought the Packers had the single most complete team performance of the entire weekend. One of them.
I'll say 225 yards from Jared Goff on the other side, but the Packers just, yeah.
I mean, it's like he averaged like it's like barely with 5 yards per attempt. So, and so while Jordan Love nearly doubled that. Josh Jacobs had his touchdown. Um, and then Jaden Reed caught a touchdown. Tucker Kraft caught a touchdown. I mean, so I guess those Tucker Kraft being a fantasy bust, or those ticks are gonna have to hold. Are gonna have to hold for now. Um, yeah. That was that. And Micah Parsons already making his it's already
Got his
making
first
his
sack.
yeah 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 his impact was felt right away, and it rubbed everyone the right way in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Texans Rams. I thought that was going to be a better. The Rams Texans was going to be a better game than I thought it was going to be, but the Rams got picked up the victory. Kyron Williams caught a touchdown, and Davis Allen caught a touchdown, which helps nobody. Puka Nacua, 10 catches, 130 yards. Yeah, and there was not a great day for any of the Texans receivers, because the leading receiver
Goodness.
was Jaden Higgins with 32 receiving yards.
32
And
receiving yards tops. Ugh.
and Nick Chubb 13 carries, so it's clear that Chubb's going to be the lead back for the Texans.
Let's hope
The
he
rest,
stays healthy. I gotta hope he stays healthy.
yeah. Um, yeah,
Of
yeah,
course,
it's yeah,
of course, you mentioned
yeah.
Baltimore and Buffalo, instant classic, as we said right from the start.
And let's take a look at some of these numbers. So Lamar Jackson, 209 passing yards, 70 rushing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing. He was terrific. Derrick Henry, 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had a monster day. But
Oh, Henry!
but but
But
but the game that his performance is going to be remembered for the fumble, which turned the entire game upside down.
and that's something he never does. He never
It's
fumbles.
like which is why it was so much more shocking that about that. But Zay Flowers, 9 targets, 7 catches, 143 yards, and a touchdown. And hey, DeAndre Hopkins caught a touchdown.
Oh
In
yeah.
his Ravens debut. And we raved about the DeAndre Hopkins signing when it happened. So, I mean, then in terms of the Bills' pass catchers, Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, Joshua Palmer had 5 catches. James Cook, he had a total of 102 all-purpose yards, 5 catches and a touchdown. Dalton Kincaid, 4 catches, 48 yards and a touchdown. He caught the first touchdown of the game, and then Josh Allen. I mean, good God,
Good
good
golly, Miss Molly.
God. 394 pass yards, 30 rush yards, 2 passing and 2 rushing touchdowns. And that was one of the best games of his entire career, maybe the best.
Oh
If we're
yes,
thinking about
definitely.
circumstance and maybe impact on the 1 seed in the AFC when it's all said and done. Remember, now that Buffalo's beaten Baltimore, they have the tiebreaker.
Oh yeah. Yeah, think about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and then the Vikings did not play the Ravens last night. They played the Bears last night. JJ McCarthy, hey, he won his NFL debut 27-24.
Welcome to the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I picked this. Yeah, Yes, I mean, I adjusted my hooked on sports NFC North prediction because I switched to
Mhm.
the Vikings before the season started. Um, so but because I felt good about the roster as well, but hey, Jordan Mason. Oh hey, where so look at my fantasy sleeper picks from earlier in this season, and whose name pops up but Jordan Mason.
Yeah, I do see Jordan Mason right there.
Yeah. 15 carries for 68 yards. Aaron Jones only had 8 carries for 23 yards. So, yeah, I mean, I mean, I wanted to draft Jordan Mason. I just thought he went earlier than I thought he was going to go in all of my drafts. So,
Yeah.
that and JJ McCarthy had 2 passing touchdowns and a rush touchdown. Caleb Williams also had a pass and rush touchdown. So wasn't too shabby either. Um, it's yeah, but he was less accurate with the football than he was. Romo Dunze was the main target. Hog 6 catches, 37 yards, a touchdown. DJ Moore had 3 catches, 68 yards, and it could have been more. I think DJ Moore was, I think, just short of a touchdown. In the latter stages of the latter stages of that game.
Right.
Um, yeah, but Aaron Jones caught a touchdown. Justin Jefferson caught a touchdown. With that as well. So that was that was a pretty riveting a riveting week 1 in the NFL.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, we'll be making our week two predictions just a bit later on. But right now, I think we got some hot topics to discuss, don't we?
Yeah, we can knock those out briefly. And I think we did mention in the 49ers game that George Kittle got hurt. He is going on the injured reserve. So I think the question with his hamstring injury, which I knew he was going to be on the IR when it came out that he had the hamstring injury.
Yeah.
What does that leave for the San Francisco 49ers?
What does that leave for the 49ers? Well, let me see if I can take a look at their
It's
current depth chart.
yeah. I mean, Jake Tongas, remember he caught the winning touchdown. He's going to be now the starting tight end for the 49ers going forward. Do we think people should take a flyer on Jake Tongas with the amount of pass catchers that are sidelined due to injuries um is yeah like Brandon Ayuk um yeah like George Kittle. So
Well, you still got Jawan Jennings, you got Ricky Pearsall, you got Kendrick Bourne, uh, Jake Tongas, of course, now going to be the starting tight end. And you got Run CMC. Uh, I'm not. I'm not sure. I mean, Pearsall had a great game as we just
yeah.
discussed.
Yeah,
So
I kind of feel, but you kind of think that a Shanahan offense revolves around the tight end playing at a high level. So it's this, but I will say I think for deep for deep flex leagues, I think he's definitely someone that is going to be worth a shot, given that he's earned the trust of his quarterback for making the winning touchdown catch in the fourth quarter.
right. So so you Kittle owners out there, bench him, or if you have to, just kick him off. He's going to be gone for a while. Meanwhile, Brock Purdy's still dealing with shoulder issues right now. So, and I think they said he is questionable to start this week.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna. I don't. I'm not really concerned at all about Brock Purdy and his injury stuff.
Right.
With that. So yes. Other top topics. Oh, hey, Quinshon Junkins has signed his contract.
Yeah, with those
So,
Cleveland Clowns. So
yeah. I mean, a good way of putting it, Tim.
yeah, 4 years, 11.4 million rookie contract. Uh, all I gotta say to him is good luck,
Yeah. It's,
because
yeah.
Browns do Browns things.
How long is he? I mean, there's a possibility that he'll be able to play. That he's going to play for the Browns against the Ravens on coming up on Sunday. So so I think the question for him is how long is it going to be for him to be the lead back for the Browns because I think that was kind of like what the plan was all along. It's because remember, Nick Chubb is not there anymore. Jerome Ford, um, is not up there. Of course, Nick Chubb signed with the Texans during the offseason. With that, and it's I mean, and then I think two other things. Tank Bigsby was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles in exchange for a fifth and sixth round picks in the future. So I kind of feel like that starts to clear the air a little bit of how the Jaguars running back picture is shaping up to be because that was one of the biggest headaches for me going into the draft, like how the Jaguars going to handle the running back situation this year
Right.
because Travis Etienne took a huge step back this year. Um, and would you look at this?
Yeah.
Hey,
I decided to make a brief appearance.
Yeah,
I'll say hey for a few minutes, and then I gotta take off. I'm gonna have to go to bed soon.
yeah,
hey, that's all right. Just seeing you makes our night.
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah,
going over some hot topics right now.
Cool.
yeah. We're talking. Tank Bigsby was just traded to the Eagles. Quinshon Junkins has signed his rookie contract, the last draft pick to do so. Yeah, we talked. I mean, George Kittle is now out with the hamstring. He's out. He's out for at least a month. He's placed on IR. It's- so are we going to be riding with Jake Tongas for the foreseeable future?
Oh. That's a tough one. I mean, we'll see.
Because with all the injuries the 49ers have, Brock Purdy's a little banged up. Juwan Jennings is still. I don't. We still know if he's 100% yet. Um,
Sometimes it's just hard to tell.
no question about that. And then, then how about Jameson Williams locking up a contract extension before the start of the season?
Mm.
That's right. The Detroit Lions got their wide receiver another 3-year contract worth up to 83 mil. So at least they still have them in his backfield. So I think Detroit will be okay. I think this past week was just a hiccup for them.
I'm going to be honest with you, Tim. They did not pass the eye test whatsoever. I'm going to be honest. The lack of discipline, the inability to move the football at all. They looked bad. I mean, also combined with the Packers, who I thought top to bottom had the most complete team performance of the entire weekend.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. Hey, I
Yeah.
want to ask him Tally about his thoughts on the Ravens Bills game from Sunday night. Instant classic.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was back and forth and everything. Yeah, I was that close to pulling it off. I was the only one who picked the Ravens. I was that close to making it happen.
I I thought I picked the Ravens too.
Oh, never mind then. Okay, I could have
Yeah,
sworn
I
I
think
was
I
the
was
lone
the
wolf,
lone
but
wolf. I think I was the lone wolf on that one.
yeah,
I picked
yeah,
Buffalo.
oh wow.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I was right about that game being back and forth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were.
I mean,
And
weren't we all?
yeah, another thing that I was right about was I said that the Bengals and the Browns was going to be the garbage game of the week. Look what happened.
Yeah, I mean, so much for me putting Jets Steelers as my garbage matchup of the week.
What a game that was!
Mhm.
I saw every minute of that one. Going beyond Aaron Rodgers looking like the old Aaron Rodgers we used to know.
Yeah, I was mentioning the in his last 10 games going back to week 8 of last year, 22 touchdowns to 4 interceptions.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I did briefly before while you're here to pull up your matchup against Lucas, one that you weren't able to win.
Yeah, I had an unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah, I mean Xavier Worthy. Good God!
Mm-hmm.
It felt like everyone with Xavier Worthy on their fantasy teams lost this weekend
Yeah,
because Travis Kelce ran into his shoulder on the second or third play of the game.
yeah,
Then compare that to what you left on your bench. I mean,
yeah,
uh,
yeah. If I had started Ibuka, I would have won.
yeah.
Yeah, but then again, getting 20 points from Worthy was a bit of a tall order anyway.
Yeah, yeah, but his numbers were kind of jacked because of the Rashid Rice suspension.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, but for week 2, I am starting Ibuka, so now I have a quarterback and receiver stack.
There
yeah,
you go.
I mean,
There you go.
yeah. Because in one of my league, I think in 2 of my leagues, I had the Dak Pickens stack, and that did not work out so well.
Good.
Yes, so while we're here, we'll take a look at your matchup coming up this week and see what you have. All right, here we go. Hang on just a second. Let me pull yours
Mm-hmm.
up.
We pull it up right there.
Yeah, and currently right now you're yeah. Yeah, and currently right now it's a toss up between you and Casey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean matchups you matchups you like, matchups that Casey should like.
Mm. Yeah, he's got a pretty good roster there. So
I mean, so he's got the favorable. He's got some favorable matchups coming up. I mean, that Chase Brown matchup looks really good. Same thing too with Justin. Same thing too with Amari Hampton against the Raiders. Which would be a 10 p.m. Eastern start on Monday night. But
Yeah.
yeah. And then you're riding with Baker Mayfield against the Texans, and then then with Ashton Genty, Malik Neighbors, Emeka Buka. And let's see what you have on your bench. I mean, Xavier Worthy's he's not playing probably because with his
he could be going
projection.
to IR maybe.
And I would not play him.
Well, thanks for pointing it out, Captain Obvious.
J.K. Dobbins, Khalil Shakir, Jalen Moore, Dallas Goddard, J.J. McCarthy, Devin Montgomery.
Yeah. I mean, how about J.J. McCarthy? What he was able to do last night?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. While we have you here, do we have I mean, I'll tell you, Natalia has already been stumped on on my tough trivia question.
Yeah, I wasn't too far off on Tim's. I got the third highest.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, so
yes,
I'm sure I got yours wrong too. I had absolutely no clue.
yes. So my trivia question, while we're on this,
Sure.
is prior to JJ McCarthy, who overcame an 11-point deficit to beat the Bears last night, who was the last quarterback to overcome a 10-point fourth quarter deficit and win in his NFL debut,
Yeah.
his first NFL appearance?
Yeah. I'm assuming I got mine wrong because I guessed Caleb Williams.
They were down 17-0 in halftime last year, but it was only a one score game going into the fourth quarter, so it was not him.
Yeah.
But you were close though. You were close.
Um, let's see. I think I saw something like this. Doing some research for this week's show. I was going to try to come up with a trivia question kind of like that, but good thing I chose a different one. Let's see here. The quarterback coming from a 10-point deficit to win their first game on Monday night. I want to say it was Aaron Rodgers. I'm not sure.
No, it was not Aaron Rodgers. No.
No.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be someone pretty recent, some from a recent draft class.
Probably.
I don't know.
So if you caught the post game interview with JJ McCarthy, the answer was there. So.
Oh.
Which is why I said which is why I said immediately after the game I had the tough trivia question ready to go.
All right.
Yeah. We can answer those right now if you want, and with that. So yeah. What's your trivia question, Tim?
Okay. I gave mine to Natalie. Okay, here's my question. With the victory, the Minnesota Vikings won their 34th game on Monday Night Football. So the question is, which team has had the most Monday Night Football wins?
So my guess is the Steelers because I always because I saw something like that and I'm thinking that if it's a Monday night game in Pittsburgh, I automatically pick the Steelers.
Oh.
Okay. And Natalie, I gave you, I sent you this question on Messenger. You said the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And well, Natalie, I have to give you this.
Yep.
And Flynn, you said the Steelers.
Yeah.
Flynn had it. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers have won 57 Monday Night Football games. You said the Cowboys. Cowboys are actually in third place with 51. 49ers had 53.
Yeah.
And if you guys wondering about the Giants have 27 lifetime
Oh
wins
yeah,
on
you have
Monday.
to go down near the bottom of the barrel.
I guess so.
Yeah. Yeah. So now my question: the last quarterback to overcome a double-digit fourth quarter deficit and win in his NFL debut. So Natalie said Caleb Williams, which was not a bad guess given what happened last year, exactly a year to the day. But he was wrong. So Tim, you have the floor. Who is it?
Well, at first I thought it was Aaron Rodgers, but then Natalie said it had to be someone kind of more recent, like in the last 5 or so years. This is just shocking in the dark. I'm saying C.J. Stroud.
So I think with C.J. Stroud, his first game was on the road in Baltimore in 2023, a game where the Texans lost by a lot.
Oh,
That's not the answer. The correct answer. So he was the first to overcome a 10-point deficit in the fourth quarter and win in his NFL debut. So the last person to do it did it in 1985.
Oh wow, okay, never mind. Oh,
1985.
Yep,
Wow.
and yes, and the person that did it that year was Steve Young.
oh wow.
Steve Young.
Yep, when he was still the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The old orange and white. I miss those uniforms.
Yeah, yeah. So Tim, I was told that Tim had to start sit him this week. So you want to start doing that before we get into the week 2 matchups.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that for you.
All right, I'll give you the floor then.
Okay, well, uh, oh, well, thank you for that. Um, call me a homer. Guys, I said call me a homer.
Homer.
Homer, Homer
No,
Simpson,
no,
dope.
but, but this is pretty much for obvious reasons. I mean, not just because I am a homer, but look at what this guy has done against the team that he's facing this week. It's our matchup, guys. Cowboys and Giants from AT&T Stadium. So obviously I would start Dak Prescott this week. I mean, listen to this. Did some research on this earlier about shortly after I got home from work today. Um, he's played 15 games in his career against the Giants. He only played one game in 2020, then 2022, and 2024. He got hurt those years. Listen to this. He has completed 322 out of 493 attempts against the Giants. 3,915 passing yards. That is the most against one team in his career. He doesn't have that much against any other team except the Giants. He's had 29 touchdowns to only 8 interceptions with a passer rating of 102.4. He has been sacked 15 times for a total of 76 yards. With his feet, he's carried the ball 43 times for a total of 157 yards and only one touchdown. That came in 2023. And he has a record of 13-2 against the Giants, 7-1 at home, 6-1 on the road. And so because of that, my start this week, of course, is Rain Dakota Prescott. As far as my sit for this week, I'm gonna have to sit Isaiah Pacheco, the running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, you see what Philadelphia did last week against my boys. They held my boys to a total of 119 total rushing yards. As we mentioned during the recap, 54 yards for Javonte Williams, only 53 yards for Miles Sanders, 9 yards for Cavante Turpin, about 3 yards for Dak Prescott. They held them pretty good right there. So I think once again the Chiefs are going to have to rely on the arm of Patrick Mahomes to do that because I think that front line is just going to be a little too rough for Pacheco. So I would suggest you guys start Dak Prescott and sit Isaiah Pacheco.
And also and also Jalen Carter did not play a defensive snap last week. And now he technically served his 1 game suspension.
Yeah, I totally disagree with that decision.
Yeah, I do
Yes,
too.
so Jalen Carter will be back out there, and their best run stopper.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see what happens there. So let's get all this back together now.
Yep.
Boom.
Yeah.
So, I guess we're ready to.
To start looking at some matchups. I put the spreads on an image file that I do kind of like want to
Yeah.
want to share here because this is the graphics package, part of the graphics package I have for my hooked on sports picks. But for presentation purposes, these are these are who's favored in the games. So yes, so why don't we go through go through some of them with that. Commanders Packers. So who are you looking at in terms of a fantasy perspective in that game?
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do I want to see how. I want to see how that Packer defense can defend Terry McLaurin. I'm kind of focusing in on that right there. But I think it's gonna be kind of tough though. But it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And so the Packers are picked by 3.5. I'm gonna and the Packers are at home where they almost always win. So I actually see this as a close game here. I'm gonna say I'm going to say 28-25. I'm going to take the Packers with the win. I'm going to take the Commanders with the points. It might be a little closer game than what slightly closer game than what they say it is. So I got the Packers winning this one 28-25.
So
Yeah, I believe I did the same thing if I remember correctly. I know I sent my scores in the chat. I think I have Washington covering the spread if I remember correctly.
is that you didn't see my spreads earlier, so I mean
Yeah, I think I sent I sent my scores before you sent the spread.
yeah. So yeah, you two have the Packers winning and the Commanders covering.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the key for this one is how this Packers defense is going to be able to slow down Jaden Daniels because like one of the most jaw dropping stats I heard over the weekend is that Jared Goff in games where neither Ben Johnson or Sean McVay is his play caller in his career is 0-19-1
Wow.
in 20 starts. So you have to think so you'll be playing a much better quarterback and already the Commanders like made it look really really easy against the Giants on Sunday. Now it's going to be a much tougher matchup. So in this one, but yes, but by the time I lock in my picks on Thursday, I'll probably on Hooked on Sports, I'll probably do the same thing you guys do, so which is grab the points with Washington there. So this and another matchup that I really want to see is Matthew Golden against that secondary, which I think he might have some matchups there, and then. And then what about Tucker Kraft against the or is he gonna be able to muster anything against their elite linebacking group? So I think that's what I'm looking at for this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to be on the same boat as you guys. So I'm probably going to be looking at 27-24 when it's all said and done. So that's where I'm going to go with that one.
Also,
So I guess we're all taking the Packers to win, and
Yeah.
we're taking the Commanders to cover.
Yeah.
all right.
All right.
This game will be my last one. Then I have to head to bed.
Okay, so the Ravens are at home, currently favored by 11.5 points, taking on the artist formerly known as the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, this
Okay.
one's. Yeah. Yeah, I almost put this one as my lock of the week, but I didn't quite do it yet. But I know it's definitely going to be pretty much a bloodbath on this one.
Yeah, I want to see how that Ravens defense can hold up against the Browns. See how much they do, because I actually look at this one, and in fact, I don't see the Browns scoring at least 15 points in this one. I only see them scoring 13 here. Baltimore is going to ball all out. I'll say Baltimore is going to win this one by a score of 38-13. And unlike Natali, he's not quite locking up the Ravens for this week, but I am.
All
Give me a
right.
lock. Give me a lock, Flynn.
All right, I had you. I had this on my full screen before, but now I will get to. This, I mean, I think the establishing factors for fantasy are big in this one, but I think it's gonna be a question to me of how much the Ravens are going to of how the Browns running back situation is going to evolve. Like how much are they going to incorporate Quinshon Junkins into the game?
Right.
And can Cedric Tillman build off his strong performance from week one? So I think those are the two things I am looking at.
All right, and I know, guys, I gotta take off. I got work in the morning, so yeah, we'll see you guys next week then.
All right,
See you
take
next
care.
week, buddy.
Yeah.
Take care. Let me see if I can get Flynn's score here.
Yeah, so I think we talked about fantasy, but the spread kind of scares me, Tim, because it's a divisional game, and with that, but I just think with the Ravens coming in mad after the way they lost that game, and the Browns losing despite outgaining the Bengals by 200 yards. Yeah, I'm picking the Ravens to win the game. I think it's gonna be like 31-13 when it's all said and done. So that's gonna be my score for that one.
All right, then we got the Jags versus the Bengals over in Cincinnati. Bengals are picked by 3.5. Um, I want to see how Travis Hunter does. I mean, Travis Hunter is going to be probably on my radar as far as the Jaguars is concerned, because he is like a very touted offensive and defensive player. I think last week I think he was on offense about 75% of the time, and he was on defense like only about 25% of the time in that game last week. But I'm going to give a close edge to the Bengals here. I'm going to say the Bengals are going to they're going to win by 4, so they will just about cover the spread there. Give me the Bengals over the Jags 27-23.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is gonna be a game where the Bengals are gonna have to start getting Jamar Chase going, because he had a rough night at the office, a day at the office on Sunday. He only
Right.
had like 4 points. So I want to see if they'll be able to get him going. I'm looking for Chase Brown to have a big day against that Jaguars defense, run defense. I'm not totally sure about, but the Jaguars are no question better than I thought they were going to be. So I think that that's something to monitor there, and really it's also going to be about Brenton Strange could be a sneaky tight end option. Same thing
Mm-hmm.
with Travis Etienne. You talk about Travis Hunter. I'll bring in Travis Etienne. So I'm looking for him to have a good day. So. But this actually is a really tough game to pick because because of that. And remember, I feel like the Jaguars are better coached than they were last year. So I'm going, but I think the crazy thing is I think the Jaguars have the coaching advantage in this game. So I'm gonna pick the Jaguars to cover the spread right now. I have it as 31-28 Cincinnati.
31-28. So you got Cincinnati with the win and Jags with the points.
Yeah.
Interesting. And now we come to our game.
Yes.
The New York Giants against the Dallas Cowboys at AT&T Stadium. Cowboys are picked by 5.5. And Flynn, since you represent the visiting team, I'll let you have first say.
So, yeah, well, it is. I mean, it's so demoralizing if you're the Giants. So right, because you thought you had a chance to beat the Commanders, and then then so many unfortunate things happened in the game that said that Micah McFadden, their only starting caliber linebacker is out for 8 weeks. Because of a leg injury, so which means you can't stop the run, and also the interior offensive line stinks. So that Greg Van Roten and John Michael Schmitz as your center and your right guard, that's just not going to cut it. So of course, and with Dallas, the way they lost that game to Philly, this is a get right game for Dallas. I think Dallas is going to destroy the New York Football Giants. So I think Dak Prescott's gonna have a big day. CeeDee Lamb's gonna have a big day. I think Javonte Williams running against that Giants' porous run defense. That's gonna be there. And then it's gonna be a rough day at the office, I think, for the Giants. Dallas bounces back in a big way. They win this game by a score of 38-16. And not only that, Tim, what is that also for me?
Are you locking my boys? Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen out there, mark this moment down as a memorable moment for this year. A Giants fan locking the Cowboys
Against the Giants. I mean, if it was the Cowboys against the Browns, and I felt like the Cowboys were going to win by 20, I would have said like whatever, but I don't think the Giants stand a chance against Dallas. I will be very, very surprised if the Giants win on Sunday.
Well, I don't see the Giants winning, but I kind of see it a different way. I mean, I think the Giants will make this closer than what a lot of people are going to think it is. I'm keeping my eye on their rookie linebacker Abdul Carter. I want to see how he does trying to pressure Dak Prescott, and of course that other linebacking core with the Giants here. Be interesting to see what he does, and of course against our uh, our running back core of Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, who only each got just over 50 yards rushing apiece last week at Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's a running back handcuff that we're still trying to see evolve here.
Right. But I actually see the Giants I see them making making it a game kind of late in the game. But I think it will be a field goal of Brandon Aubrey to make the difference. My final score is 26-23. I'm taking my Cowboys to win, but I'm actually taking the Giants for the points.
Yeah. Maybe we'll definitely see about that. This is all of a sudden an intriguing game in the NFC North, because the loser of this next game is going to start the season 0-2 in a very competitive NFC North. We got the Lions favored by 5.5 points taking on the Chicago Bears. And this is one of the tougher games of the week to pick.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. This is probably the toughest game, if not the toughest game on the schedule for me to take a side on this one. Um, and Detroit's picked by 5.5. Detroit. I mean, pretty much what was said earlier. The game, Lions, Lions and Packers. The game told more than the score did. I mean, Packers just outperformed the Lions on every single level: offense, defense, special teams, you name it. Meanwhile, the Bears came up just a little bit short against the Vikings last night against the Vikings, um, and this is going to be ooh. I actually say this is going to be a pretty close game here, but as no buddy of mine says, you can't really make up your mind. Go with the home team. So I'm going to take Detroit in this one. Take Detroit with the win. And I can see the Bears. I can see the Bears covering this one as well. So I'm gonna say, uh, 27-23. Give me the Lions to win. The Bears cover.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I'm grabbing the points with Chicago here. I think the question is whether or not this is going to be a close game. But I think the player the Lions missed the most out of anybody they lost last year is Frank Ragnow. Their all pro center who retired suddenly, and so it's like it was clear the Lions offensive line was out of sorts. They were not able to be able to do something here there. But I do like do like the Lions to win a close one here. And remember, this is the first time the Bears have been in Detroit since the foul up on Thanksgiving, where with everything that transpired there. So I feel like this is gonna be a close game. I'm gonna go 27. I'm gonna go 24-21 right now. Lions over the Bears. Now this pick could change on Hooked on Sports on Thursday, but that's right now where I'm thinking of going in this one.
All right, now we got then we got the Patriots heading to. Oh, we got a question. Let's go ahead and answer this.
Yes, yes,
question.
yes. So we have Quentin Johnson, Hollywood Brown, Keyshawn Booth, Cedric Tillman, Calvin Austin, Wandell Robinson, Kenneth Gainwell, Harold Fan, and John U. Smith. So all available from the waiver wire. So who are you taking out of these, and who is looking to claim on the waiver wire?
Yeah, we mentioned Quentin Johnson having a very big day, so I would definitely want to keep him.
Which is kind of a weird dynamic because you're thinking about Lad McConkey and Trey Harris, as pass catching targets as well, but.
Right.
Yeah, but I would honestly ride the Cedric Tillman wave until Joe Flacco is benched because as long as Flacco is a starter, the Browns should be able to throw the ball down the field. Now it's going to come without his fair share of picks because Joe Flacco threw a couple of interceptions against Cincy that tipped off receivers' hands.
And I think he's got another question there.
Yes, so I think he's looking at his current roster. So
right. So a half PPR, 12-team league, 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wideouts, 1 tight end, 2 flex can be tight end. CD Lamb, excellent. Chase Brown, excellent. Brock Bowers, excellent. Jackson Smith and Jigba, excellent. Tony Pollard, say average maybe.
I mean, Tony Pollard's gonna get the majority of the of the load with Tyjae Spears out. So
He's got Caleb Johnson, Matthew Golden, Roma Dunze, uh, Krosky Merritt, Josh Downs, JJ McCarthy, Dylan Sampson, and Justin Fields.
I mean that's a pretty low for a 12-team league. That's a pretty loaded roster.
That looks pretty darn good.
It's yeah, but with that being said, if you have to drop someone, I would drop Dylan Sampson.
Right. Yeah, you can do without Sampson. Everything else looks just fine.
Yeah.
Thanks for your question and thanks for watching, bro. Now, we are about to get to the Patriots heading into South Beach to take on the Dolphins. Dolphins 1.5 point favorites at home. I think Drake May was. I can see Drake May passing for at least 150 yards in that one. I mean, I think I was watching. I think it was ESPN or Fox Sports One or something, but they basically described Miami as a beautiful mess. It's an absolute mess.
I mean, what a disgrace that team has become. That the fact they got shredded, that the fact that Daniel Jones stole their soul tells you everything you need to know about this team. Everything.
Most namely, Chris Greer.
Yeah, I mean, how did he keep his job after that?
Pure delusion, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid this mess is going to continue. As you can see, Drake May having a pretty good game this week. I am taking the Patriots over to the Dolphins. I'm going to say 24-13. Give me the Patriots.
I mean, I cannot believe the Dolphins are favored in a football game this year, but yeah, but I'm gonna take the team with the better coach, the better quarterback. Give me the Patriots to win 21-14 right now.
All right, take that. Now over to the Big Easy, where our friend Alex Putnam just recently visited. 49ers coming into town with a 4.5 point edge over the Saints. This wasn't one of the toughest watches game, but it's kind of a tough one because you think about all the injuries that the 49ers have, and then you think of how poorly the Saints played last week. I'm going to go ahead. Give me. I'm going to take the Niners to win and cover. Niners over the Saints 28-20.
Yeah, I think you're looking at you're looking at this game and you're trying to really get a feel of how you think of how the Saints are going to structure their target shares, because Chris Olave and Juwan Johnson each had double-digit target games last week, and then which kind of wants me to wonder how big of a role is Alvin Kamara going to have in this game, because I think if they're going to beat the 49ers, I think they're going to have to get Alvin Kamara involved in the passing game, because even for a running back, that's where he's most dangerous. So I think you look at that as a as a way to go here about this, but now what is the offense going to look like if Brock Purdy is out? So, and the answer is that Mac Jones would be in line to be the starting quarterback for the 49ers. And remember, so Mac Jones was supposed to be the pick for the 49ers in the 2021 NFL draft, where they picked third overall. Instead, they picked Trey Lance.
And look how that went.
Yeah, did not turn out so well. But I do think that the difference in the game is going to be Christian McCaffrey. I think McCaffrey's going to have a big game. I think he's going to have he's going to have 100 all-purpose yards at least. I think he's going to have at least a touchdown. So right now I have the Niners laying the 4.5, beating the Saints by a score of 27-17 at this point.
Alrighty then. Well, this next game, with everything that happened last week,
But
this game looks a little bit delicious.
for both teams.
Yes, this game looks pretty delicious to me. Buffalo is coming into MetLife Stadium. They are picked by 7 over the Jets. Oh my God, Justin Fields, he looked pretty darn good in that game, even though they came up on the short end of the stick, but he looked pretty darn good. And Buffalo, of course, we said with that instant classic against the Ravens. Oh my goodness.
I mean,
I'm kind of interested in what you want to say first.
I mean, Tanner Eckstrand, the Jets offensive coordinator, he called a superb game. With that, the Jets have an offensive coordinator that actually maximizes the talents of their players. I mean, what kind of world are we living in? So Tanner Eckstrand might already be the best offensive coordinator the Jets have had in a long time, which is kind of crazy to wrap your head around. But I do think it's going to be a close game. I mean, Buffalo's coming off the highs, the high of an amazing victory. But if you watch the first 55 minutes of that game, the Bills got totally spanked by the Baltimore Ravens. Their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. That they had a lot of problems getting off the field on third down. I mean, the Bills had the second worst third down conversion the defense in the NFL last year, and it was even worse in the playoffs. They said that the Ravens and Chiefs combined to go 12-19 on third down against the Bills last year in the playoffs, and the results were not much better in that. So I think the Jets have their matchups in this one. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be another a riveting Sunday in the Meadow in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So I'm gonna pick the Jets with the points, but ultimately I think it's gonna be one where Josh Allen gets the Bills over the top. So I'm gonna pick the Bills to win this one by a score of 29-26 right now.
All right. Well, I'm definitely thinking along the same lines as you. Buffalo, yeah, had a terrible first half against Baltimore, and Jets they kept fighting their way with trying to match up with Pittsburgh last week each and every step of the way. I'm thinking the same thing you are. My final score is 30-26. Taking Buffalo with the win. I'm taking the Jets with the points.
Yeah,
And
no, I mean, like in terms of fantasy, you're liking Garrett Wilson as a start potentially. I also feel it's gonna be a tricky matchup though for the Bills receivers because they'll be matched up against Jaden Reed and Sauce Gardner. I would be a little. I think it's going to be a game where Dalton Kincaid's going to have to show up. It's going to be a game where I think James Cook is going to have to make things happen in the running attack. That's where I think that this game is going to be won or lost.
yes, that's definitely right. We got Seattle coming into Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh is at home, favored by 2.5 points on this one. Uh, I'll be interested to see how OJSN will do against that Pittsburgh defense. I mean, Pittsburgh just fought all the way through, as we mentioned, against the Jets. Will be interesting to see how they can cover him. But in the end, I can see Pittsburgh pulling this out. Although I think it's going to be I think this could be a close game here. Pittsburgh is 2.5. I say they'll win and cover, but not by much. Give me 28 to 21. Just I'll give them a 7. I'll give them 7 point difference. So give me the Steelers to win and cover by a score of 28-21.
I mean, this is not a game that I would include in my survivor picks this week. So
Right.
because you always have to remember that Mike Tomlin trap games always exist, and it's been the case throughout his entire NFL career. The Steelers coming off the high of beating a team that played really well, fall hard to the end, on last a couple of days ago. So, but Seattle actually has a decent roster. I mean, not gonna lie, it was I thought that for the first 58 minutes of that game, Seattle outplayed San Francisco. Before the Niners came back in the end and win it, but I'm gonna grab the Steelers. I just think Sam Darnold has a bad matchup against T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, and that defensive front. So I'm gonna pick right now. I'm picking the Steelers to win and cover. I've been winning by a score of right now. I'm gonna go with 24 to 20, and I'm really hoping by the time Hooked on Sports my pick segment drops on Thursday. I'm really hoping it's not minus three. It doesn't go to 3 or 3.5.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
interesting to see what happens by the time that show comes up. The last of the early games, we have the LA Rams going into Nashville to take on the Tennessee Titans, with the Rams coming in as 5.5 point favorites. Let's see
Yeah, I mean,
here. Go ahead.
I don't get this line. So because the Rams currently have a banged up offensive line. Going to this Kevin Dotson, both of their left guards are currently gonna we're gonna see the progress of both of them going into their matchup. But yeah, but this is not a great matchup because that Rams defensive front that made C.J. Stroud look akin to playing professional football on Sunday. Um, yeah, I think that's gonna be the difference. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be a competitive game, in my opinion. But I think I have the Rams pulling it out. They win by a score of of no, of 24 to 17. So I'm gonna pick the Rams to win and cover. Superior coach, better quarterback. I think that's the difference there. So I have the Rams winning and covering.
Okay. Yeah, I have the Rams winning and covering, but yeah, I agree with you with that banged up offensive line with the Rams in Tennessee with not much of an identity. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams uh to win and cover. Give me the Rams 24-14, and this is very not this is being not interesting for me as a matter of fact. Yeah, this is pretty much going to be my garbage game of the week. But now we go to the four o'clock games, and starting in Arizona, where the Carolina Panthers will be coming into Arizona to take on the Cardinals. And interesting here, the Cardinals are picked by 6.5.
Yeah, I think Arizona's going to win and cover. I was really hoping I would see Bryce Young to take that next step forward, but but for him only scoring 10 points against that Jaguars defense, I think that kind of scares the hell out of me when it comes to that. So I just think the Cardinals are a much better team. They're a younger, faster team, a more well coached team. So I think the Cardinals are going to win and cover. I have them winning by a score of 28-17. And I think I'm looking for another big game from Marvin Harrison. I'm looking for James Conner to have to play to get 70 yards and a touchdown. I'm looking for Kyler Murray to have another good game. So that's what I'm looking at there. And then in terms of Carolina, how much is Ted McMillan gonna have? How big of a workload is Ted McMillan going to have? Because I think all the talk about him being the number one receiver, I think that's clear now. So we'll see how that is, and then how it's then with that. So I'm going to pick the Cardinals to win 28-17.
Yeah, I will take the Cardinals, but same thing. I agree with everything you said here. I've got a similar score that what you gave. I'm taking the Cardinals by a score of 30-16.
All right. So the next game, the Denver Broncos are on the road, favored by 2.5, taking on the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay. Well, Daniel Jones impressed a lot of people last week. He even impressed me. But this time they're going up against one of the toughest defenses in the AFC. And with Denver coming in as 2.5 point favorites, I think it'll probably be the defense that rattles Daniel Jones's brains in this game here. In fact, I think it's going to be a defense that makes a difference here. I could see, let's see, 2.5 point favorites. I say the Broncos will win and cover this game. Give me those Denver Broncos over the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to say a modest. I'm going to give a modest score, 27-20. Give me the Broncos to win and cover.
I never thought I would make this pick at the start when the season started. Give me the Indianapolis Colts to win this football game. I just think that the comparison between the Colts defense from last year, which was so bad that Gus Bradley got fired, that the upgrade from Gus Bradley to Lou Anarumo is one of the biggest coaching upgrades I have ever seen. So, look at how well look at how prepared the Colts looked, and it was just a damn shame that Anarumo was ran out the door by Cincinnati because of the front office's inability to
Right.
adequately prepare him for that. Now he has dudes to prepare him on defense, and with Bo Nix not playing well against which should have been a layup game against the Titans, it gives me cause for concern here when it comes to Bo Nix and his potential prospects of having a good sophomore season this year. But I just don't know if that's the case anymore. And now I have to I'm now recalculating everything I thought about the AFC South. I'm recalculating everything I thought about the AFC West with the Chiefs losing and the Broncos losing last week. So give me the Indianapolis Colts to win the game outright. They win 24-21 over the Broncos.
Ooh, interesting. Going with those ponies. That would be interesting to see. Another interesting game to see. We're heading over to Arrowhead Stadium where the Chiefs are at home. They'll be welcoming in the reigning, defending, undisputed, conquering world champion Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles come into KC as 1.5 point favorites, which I could probably see that a little bit. Like I said, I'm gonna have to For those of y'all with Isaiah Pacheco, I'd suggest you bench him because that defense is just going to be too much. You're just going to have to rely on the arm of Patrick Mahomes, as I said. This will be a very close game. I can see A.J. Brown maybe getting at least 2 touchdowns. I could probably see that happening. And I'm going to do, give me, this is going to be a pretty high scoring game here. Give me 20. Give me, I hate to say this because the Chiefs are my second favorite team, as some of y'all may know, but I'm a realist. Give me the Eagles over the Chiefs by a score of 33.
Wait, what was that? Anyway, we're gonna wait for Tim to come back and make his pick because he cut off at the end. But I think this is such an intriguing matchup because remember Saquon Barkley in the Super Bowl. The last time Saquon Barkley played against these Chiefs, he was held to just 57 rushing yards and 25 carries in the Super Bowl, and the Eagles still completely destroyed completely destroyed the Kansas City Chiefs without Saquon Barkley's services. So I wonder if the Chiefs going to change their game plan and focus and try and focus more on the passing attack here. Because Jalen Hurts showed he has something good going on when he's able to have a good touch with the football. But I am a little concerned though about the Eagles because Kevin Patullo did not call a great second half, and I'm a little concerned that that you have that as well. But with that being said, the Eagles defense I think is exceptional with Jalen Carter back in the lineup. He means everything for that run defense. So so Tim, you picked the Chiefs.
No, I picked the Eagles to win 33-28.
Yeah, I'm picking the Eagles to win as well. I have them winning by a score of 23-16 over the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs start 0-2.
Hmm. Kind of a low score there. Let's see what happens. The Sunday night special here it's an interesting matchup. The Atlanta Falcons going to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Minnesota comes into this game as 4.5 point favorites, and Minnesota played a great game against the Bears. Held on to win that one right there. And I think this one may be a little bit closer than a lot of people say. I think I could probably see Bijan Robinson having another great game. Maybe Darnell Mooney, Drake London. Hopefully, you get some big yards from them. But I'm going to give the edge to J.J. McCarthy and those Vikings. He did very, very well in that game. I would love to see Justin Jefferson get a touchdown. Better get one or two. This is going to be an interesting game. In fact, I could probably see this game. Let's see here. 20, give me 27 to 20. Yeah, give me 27-23. I'm going to take the Eagles with the win, but just barely give them the points with the Falcons.
Yeah. You're talking about the Vikings winning, not the Eagles winning for that game.
I said I meant to say Vikings with the win and the Falcons with the points.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm going to grab the points with the Atlanta Falcons. I'm not picking them to win. So, but remember, last year when these two teams met, it was a 21 all game in the fourth quarter, and then Kirk Cousins threw the game away with costly turnovers. I don't think that's going to happen this time. I think the Falcons are going to play a much better fourth quarter than they did last year against this squad. So I'm gonna grab the point here with Atlanta. I'm looking I'm looking for I'm looking for a big game out of Bijan Robinson. I think Drake London's gonna have a decent game, as well. But I think the Vikings have matchups too here. So I think I think that's the thing that's going to be. So that's why I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to go 27-24 right now. Give me the Minnesota Vikings to win, but I'm taking the points here with Atlanta.
Okay, before we get to the Monday night doubleheader, we got another question here on the screen from George Play 01. Let's see if I can get that up there.
Yep, go ahead.
Sup, guys? Someone offered me Calvin Ridley for
Jacoby
Myers.
Myers.
Jacoby Myers. It's a non-PPR league. Should I do it?
Ooh, that's a tough one because I really like both of those guys. So, but I think as Cam Ward gets better as the year progresses, I think so will Calvin Ridley. I would go for it. I would consider I would try and swing that trade if you had it. So that's where I'm gonna go with that.
All right. Well, there you go. I'd probably go with Ridley as well. Cam Ward only has one way to go. He'll go up. So he goes up, Ridley goes up, and I think Tennessee will be just fine there. George, thank you very much for watching, and thank you for your questions. Thank all you guys for your questions. You are making this show so wonderful with your questions. And now we get to, I don't know why they even do this anyway, doubleheader on Monday night. The first game of the doubleheader is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Houston Texans. This will be in H-Town, with the Texans coming in as 2.5 point favorites in here. And I think on paper right now it looks like I'm going to take Tampa Bay with this one. I mean, they still have their great receivers, Bucky Irving. Glad I have him on my fantasy squad. He is a great young running back, and I know Jameis Winston is doing a great job there. Of course, I did pick Houston. I did pick these teams to win their respective divisions. But looking at it right here, 101, I say Tampa Bay will win and cover. Give me the Bucks over the Texans by a score. Let's see. Let's have a nice score of 24 to 24-20. Give me the Bucks to win and cover.
Yeah, we're sharing the brain on this one. I'm taking Tampa Bay. Bijan Robinson against that, the saving grace for Bijan Robinson last week was the 51-yard receiving touchdown he had. Bijan Robinson had 24 yards on 12 carries against that Bucks front. That is a recipe for disaster for the Houston Texans, who traded their best offensive lineman in the offseason and couldn't and are relying on Nick Chubb to be the lead back. I would totally sit Nick Chubb. I would sit CJ Stroud as well because they're gonna come after him in waves. I like the Texans this season, but I think they had a tough drawing two NFC division winners in back-to-back weeks who have Super Bowl aspirations. So give me the Bucks to win by a score of 21-10 over the Texans.
All right. See, there's a bigger score there. That game will be at 7 p.m. Eastern
Uh,
time.
and
And
it should be noted, Tim, though.
yes. So is this last game on the schedule your pick for the garbage game?
Yeah, so the Bucks Texans. Yeah, that's my garbage game of the
Buck,
week pick.
Bucks Texans is your garbage game of the week. Well, the final game of the week will be starting at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on ESPN. It's the AFC West rivalry game. The Los Angeles Chargers against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Chargers are coming in 3-point favorites.
Yeah, this will wind up being the last game I circle when I officially lock in my when I officially lock in my predictions. And listen, Pete Carroll is a tremendous coach, and it's no surprise that he took the Raiders cross country and went to Foxborough and beat the Patriots on Sunday. Well, and Geno Smith's obviously an upgraded quarterback. Ashton Genty is just getting his feet wet in the NFL, but I'm gonna grab the Chargers. I think they're supremely well coached. Jesse Minter is a good defensive coordinator. Jim Harbaugh is superb, and if Justin Herbert can have games like he had against the Chiefs, then the sky's the limit for the Chargers. And things that the Chargers have some great matchups in this one. I think Amari Hampton should be able to run wild on a Raiders defense that's still that I don't know if they're ready yet for that. I think and I look at Keenan Allen's having this, so gonna have a monster game. So give me the Chargers to go to Vegas and beat the Raiders. I think it's gonna be a fun late night action. Give me the Chargers to win by a score of 34-27. It's gonna be a high scoring game.
Hmm. See a high scoring game. I see a pretty good game right here. I'm going exactly the same route as you are. I'm taking the Chargers to win and cover this one, even though I have so much respect for Pete Carroll and what he's so far doing in Las Vegas, trying to get that team turned around again. Ashton Genty, he's getting his feet wet, as you said, so he'll do better as they can really work him into the system. And but I'm going to take the Chargers to win and cover this one. Give me the Chargers over the Raiders by a score of 27-23.
Okay, so we have one more question. So do we trade Nico Collins for Emeka Egbuka and Josh Jacobs? I mean, to me that is a let me get you back on stage here. Yeah, this feels like a tough. This is a tough package. This feels tough,
And
but
it is.
yeah, but with Nico Collins being the Texans' only legit wide receiver, I think you have to keep Nico Collins. He was in my top five from the on my receiver rankings for a reason. Yeah, it wasn't evident against the Rams, nor do I think it will be evident against Bucks on Monday night because of how I think the game's going to transpire. But I think Nico is going to be in for a monster season. So I would keep my faith with Nico Collins at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, Keaton, whatever your last name is, thanks for watching. Thanks for your questions, guys. Thanks for all your questions. We got a lot of fancy players out there. Hopefully, y'all do well this week. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up this edition of Fantasy Football Fever. Keep in mind, my friends, my good buddy John Natale is going twice a week now with a Hooked on Sports podcast. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you have your NFL picks. You're going to have that Thursday, as you
Yes.
mentioned.
So here's the thing. So I'm going to Philly tomorrow for the Mets Phillies game. Yes. It's gonna be a day. It's gonna be a day away from me. So I think so the idea is supposed to be that I'll record my that I'm gonna try and record my weekly podcast concerning all the other sports before I leave for Philly tomorrow, and then when I come back from Philly tomorrow night, I'll record the pick segment for week 2. I think that's what what I have as the plan right now. Things are subject to change, but that's the plan right now.
So, y'all tune in to Apple iTunes, Spotify, tune in wherever you get your podcasts. Look for Hooked on Sports for this week, and you'll be able to listen to John Flynn giving his take on the world of sports, and of course, he'll be giving his week 2 takes. He'll finalize those week 2 takes on that particular show. In the meantime, don't also forget tomorrow night, Penny Game Pick'em Show with Alex Lucas and yours truly. Tomorrow night we start 10 Eastern, 9 Central on the A Pizzle 90 channel. There's the link, youtube.com/A Pizzle 90s. And boy, I think Alex is going to be won't be a happy camper after last week, and probably won't be a happy camper after this week comes around. So we'll just have to see what happens there. So I guess that'll do it for our show. It's been a great show. Thanks to all of y'all for watching. Please spread the word if you like this show and you want to go back into the history and look at previous shows. Just like, subscribe, hit the button down there, hit the bell so you'll know when the next episode is coming along. So that's going to do it for Fantasy Football Fever for this week. For our commissioner, John Telly, who was here earlier, for my buddy, John Flynn. There, I'm pointing the right way now. My name is Tim
Yes.
McClellan. Thanks so much for everybody. Hey, have a great weekend. Enjoy the games, everyone. Enjoy week 2. We'll see you back here 7 nights from now. Take care, y'all. God bless. And as always, be a good sport. See you.